Welcome to the show. Today's topic: sometimes you have to break a heart, or when breaking a heart is okay or necessary. This is something you don't hear a lot, or is not talked about a lot. Is the fact that if you're doing everything okay and you're in the up and up and you're dating honestly and you have options, but when you find a serious girl, uh, what do you do then? So given the statistics that I've already said on many shows and that you could Google yourself, whether it be cheating, whether it be women that have men on the side, or men that have women on the side, or men that have flings, and all this stuff, the numbers are pretty alarming. So maybe it's not that the message isn't being said, it's just maybe that people don't want to hear it because people like exciting things, obviously, or new stuff. And it's just that kind of culture apparently now in 2020. So given that, maybe that's the case, that people just don't want to hear it because they themselves indulge in extra marital affairs, or might have a little action on the side. Or, and I'm sure, if the number was, or the question was, have you ever cheated in your life? I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll be hitting closer to the 85, 90 percentile, which is probably just the way we are, whether it's the evolution or de-evolution of society, wherever you stand on that spectrum. That's a debate for another time. But given that men get most of the responsibility anyways, we get blamed, or put no matter what, it gets put on us. So we should take a very serious approach to ending relationships, or not ending relationships. I'm getting ahead of myself. How to proceed when you're, a man of quote unquote high value, as you hear all these, different men on these manospheres, as they call them, say, so when you're a man of value and you're being honest, you've told the women that you're dating that you're not looking to be monogamous, that you're looking to date, and that you're currently dating other women, doesn't necessarily mean sex. So just in case anybody wants to get grossed out about that, it just means that a high value male is on, in what it is he's on high demand, apparent, according to what that is or the definition of what is being said as a high value male. So if you are a high value male, and we'll just spread it out and say even in a aspiring high value male, which then will umbrella everyone else into this, because we all should be striving to be a quote unquote high value male. It's just a fancy word for saying better yourself, basically. That's why I'm using the quote unquote. If I say better yourself, it'll get lost, and people won't understand the difference. I guess people want to define every little thing. So, anyways, so if you're a true high value male, a man with standards and goals and a vision, and you know what you want in life, you're gonna have options. So you'll be dating multiple women. Eventually, you're going to meet one that is better than the rest. So then what you see and what the numbers show is that if you end up, you, let's say you're using dating app and you hook up with a lot of women, the odds are is that you'll delete the app, so it's not on your phone, but you'll keep the profile. Or and a lot of these, even if you delete the profile, it'll still save it. Like, it'll ask you one last time, do you want to save it without no pictures, just your information? You could click yeah. So many just don't, and many still keep in contact, or will start dating that girl that they're really serious with, but still kind of talk to the other girls on the side. Maybe if you cross over into it, then you do still keep on seeing. And when you do listen to many in these quote unquote manospheres, or just men circles or men programming on YouTube or on some podcasts, they tell you, that it's been one of the things that I've been talking about, that us men kind of go through, use women, and treat them like a certain, sex object and kind of like that. And that's where most of our young men, what they're doing. And at first I thought it was a joke until I started seeing it in play in my life, in my real world, where I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. So then I started to control that aspect in my own environment, just because I knew the sources where they were getting it, and it sounds good. And some of the advice when it's the same thing with the aspiration of being a high value male. You show the symptoms of being that way, so it's gonna work. These different styles are gonna work in the seduction and pickup part of it. Point that I'm saying is that a lot of young men, old men even, take that and use that as a weapon or just a way to keep stuff in the bag, when that isn't what you should do ethically. And so you don't bring that karma. If you believe in karma, if you believe in that kind of stuff, you don't bring that bad juju to you, and you're not a fucking dirtbag, and you're not a scum, so you're not doing anything in a scummy way. And so when you do stuff like this, and that's why it's hard for me sometimes when I hear men talk to me, and this is me in my personal life, about what's going on, and then tell me what's going on with them and their wife, or them and their girlfriends, and then I'm feeling their story, right? And but then I ask, you might call me a dick. I care about the story, but there's always two sides. So like I would ask the guy, hey, well, if it was like something about like cheating or something, and I would like, well, are you on dating apps or something like that? Because they'd be like, oh, I caught her on dating apps or something like that. And then, well, do you have dating apps? And they're like, yeah, and then like it ends up being that she found his, and that's why she ended up, but he's not telling us because we're the boys. So I find it hard to sympathize with men when I hear it online, because of course we all want to make ourselves the victim, but there's not a lot of ownership and a lot of self-reflection in a lot of these men that turn it inward and say, hey, it could have been me, or I was the one that was doing this stuff. No, we like to project it outward. So anyways, so when you are a quote unquote high value male, how should you proceed? Now, again, I digress a little bit, but a true high value male would already know what to do, because it's gonna be instinctual. God damn it, I can't. Why can't I say that word? Instinctual. Anyways, it's gonna be second nature to him. So when you read, what is an alpha male, being honest, being loyal, being a protector, leading, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you see where I'm going with this. If you're gonna be an alpha male, you have to be honest. And if you're over here leading women on, I mean, if you can't put two and two together, I'm sorry for you. But basically, it's that's it. So that's why I started off with the whole stats. Apparently, a lot of men want to call themselves high value male, but according to the statistics, they're cheating just as much as women, and then we want to claim that we're alpha, but yet we're not honest, we're not leading, we're not taking accountability, and yet women are the problem, or someone else is the problem, or the guy that looks better than you is the problem, the guy that has more money than you is the problem. So it always becomes this thing. That's why I said high value is just a fancy word for self-betterment. And if you start working on yourself, trust me, you'll get the quality, not the quality woman, I'm saying that wrong, but you'll see the difference when you focus on your self-betterment and you upgrade yourself. You're giving the illusion of, so then women get drawn into that, which is a great thing. That's what we want. But if you're in this for, again, if you're just in it for hooking up and being one of those dudes and being lying, like if you're lying, if they don't know that you're not monogamous, and you say, yeah, I want to be in a relationship, but I want to date, but you're doing this to a ton of women just to lead them on, knowing damn well you don't want to date or you don't want a relationship, I'm no one to judge you, do you, but that's fucking scummy. And it's better to be straight up. That way they could do them and you could do you, because you're gonna do you regardless. So let them do them too. So they might not miss out on some dude that they might, come in life, in contact with their life. If you're not gonna be like the full on devoted or seeking a relationship. So if that's the case, again, I can't help you. Do you? I'm not gonna shame you. You're doing it scummy. You know, but do you? Maybe that is shaming, right? Calling them a scummy, whatever. Uh, but it is kind of scummy. So it's better to be honest. That way you can have as many partners as you want, as long as everyone knows that that's the thing, that you're not monogamous and that you're going just to have fun. You just got out of a long-term relationship, whatever. I don't know, divorce was crazy, whatever it is, that's up to you. But if you are seeking a relationship, I'm not saying that just because one is better than all, that's the end all. What I am saying is that when you meet one, with apps and all this stuff, how easy it is. It's always that, what's out there. Is there someone better out there than the girl that I'm kind of falling for? And then we fall into the trap of, like I said, we don't delete the apps. We keep people around. We keep, apps too long. And then someone, that might look a little better, maybe something sparks a little different. It allows that. So I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm saying what's the ethical way? What should be done? Because the title is when breaking heart, it's okay or necessary, or sometimes you have to break a heart. Because a high value male is gonna, of course, you're gonna be dating multiple women, because you're gonna have options, you're gonna have choices, and these women, of course, they're gonna fall in love with you. Of course, they're gonna want to be the one that gets chosen. Of course, because they're in competition. Because again, you're quote unquote high value. So the difference between a high value male and a scum lord is when you don't cut it off. When you don't say, I want to focus on this one. If you're dating and want to be serious and it sparks your interest, you say, I want to date this one girl. And then you proceed to let the other women go, and you do it in a man way. Don't do it in an email. Honestly, let me rephrase that. Just because I don't know how you guys met. Some people will say, well, we met through texting, so it ends through texting. We met in person, so it ends in person. You should try to do it in person, or at least over the phone, for at least the dignity aspect of it, and tell them, hey, this. And the reason I say it is, and you'll hear this a couple of times before I'm done, they're gonna just view you different, right? So if I act high value, right, and I'm dating 4 women, maybe 5, because just got that damn sexy, right? So I'm dating 5 girls, but one just like knocks my socks off. And granted, like I said, the apps, there's someone probably cuter than her, but again, we're going just through what a quote unquote high value, the ways that, so this girl for me, just hits a little different. As soon as I know that, you're gonna want to see where it goes pretty quickly. So you're gonna want to exceed it. So you're gonna cut your stuff out, because if you're high value, you're pushing, pursuing, and seeking dreams, self betterment, hitting all that other stuff. So you're gonna want to get to the point, and distractions just make you waste time. So then you're gonna be juggling, 4 or 5 girls, leading them on, which, again, that's not what a high value male does. So once you pick the target the ethical way, just to see if you progress, because again, this is about the complaint that there isn't good women, and that they don't. Again, they don't, because again, like I said, we don't delete apps, we don't cut it off with people, we're not straightforward, we're not honest, we're not leading, we're not directing where the hell we want our dating life go. So again, 5 girls, high value male, one sparks your interest, you call or you meet them in person and tell them, hey, it's been fun. But I found someone that really interests me, and I would like to see where it leads to, and I really want to just focus, on her. Now, given something in that area, now no matter what you say, you're gonna get either, of course, a positive response, a negative response, sometimes even a delayed positive that leads into a negative response, whatever it may be, because of course you're going to break hearts. They were falling in love with you, and in some cases, they fell in love with you. But nothing through your own, because again, you were honest, you were leading, you were straightforward. They did their best part. They tried. They tried. They brought their A game, but someone brought in the same A game and was just a little bit better, and just a little bit better, and it's sparked you off that way. So it's no hard feelings, or definitely a lot of hard feelings, but you're not doing it in a malice intent. You weren't leading no one on. You're taking a step, and as a man, and no matter if it's going to be a negative or positive response, which that was my end goal, my end point, but I got to it pretty quickly, is that whether you're going to have a negative or positive response, it's irrelevant. It's the fact that you're going to stand out as the man that was honest, respectful, that was straightforward. So even in case you do focus on this one girl and then you start throwing her through your gauntlet, right? Now, yeah, she sparked your interest, but guess what? That means that you get to go on to the round where I put you through the gauntlet, and now you got to qualify yourself to me. So it doesn't mean that well, it means you're just interested in that girl, but you're doing it ethically, right? So you're gonna cut them off with a phone call or in person. And even I'm gonna take it a step further with a high value male, if he's using an app. If we're talking about what a true high value male is, if he's using a dating app, he is then going to, let all those girls that he was talking to also know, hey, I met someone, it's cool talking to you, best of luck. That way, then they could start, going their way and making sure that circuit is closed, right? And excuse me, trust me, they will love you for it. They will remember you for it. Yes, some might hate you for it, but it's a small part, because all of them will respect you. All of them will you will have that like I said, that part in their brain. And again, if it doesn't work out, because the woman that you advanced to now prove herself, if that doesn't work out and you go back in, and restart everything, a lot of these girls, trust me, will come back. Oh, you're back single. You don't want to burn those bridges. Like you always heard, don't burn your bridges, or sometimes you do have to burn bridges, but for the most part, you don't want to burn your bridges. So you want to end it. It's gonna end on whatever note according to them. But if you go on into it, like I said, if you were honest and straightforward in the beginning, and made sure the groundwork was set, that you were out there dating, that you were seeing multiple people, that you weren't leading them on, and that you were seeking a relationship. And if all that stuff is out there, and even take out the relationship, like I said earlier, just to make sure I cover that base over and over and over again. If you're single and using it, again, it's a scummy thing to do if you don't tell them, but whatever, I can't stop you. But again, don't claim that you're high value, you're alpha this, because you're not. You're impersonating one, because one doesn't do that. Like I said, even in the dating app, you're gonna go in there and tell them that you met someone and they should move on. And not only that, you're gonna delete the apps, take them off of your phone, delete your the profile. It doesn't take long to fucking do the profile. And even I think I said it in a previous podcast, you could save the settings, but as long as you're true, eventually if that girl is the one, or you lead to a more serious relationship, obviously you want to go ahead and then delete the whole thing. But, and I get it, some guys want to do that just because they don't want to spend the time, but honestly, if you ain't serious about your dating life, where you could delete the profile and then build it again on that new experience that you just went through, it's like a resume, right? You updated dated experience, so you got to include the new girl once that finishes. Like, oh, now I'm not seeking crazy because the last one was crazy. So anyways, I'm not trying to play fun at it or poke fun at it, but a high value male is going to make sure that even up to that extreme, because you want to focus and give this woman an honest shot, that to earn your trust, to earn your love, to make sure that she adjusts herself to be the best partner for you guys. And now we don't see that. You don't have that patience, that discipline, that want to, that need to, because it's too easy, because dating app, is more beneficial for men now. So I mean, getting a female has never been easier in the history of man. I mean, you get a girl or something within 2 messages. Anyway, I'm not gonna go down that road. I'm not gonna go down that road. But anyways, so that's what a high value male does, is that or a quote unquote high value male is gonna make sure, because he's gonna get make sure that this person gets this female gets a fair shot at earning his trust, earning his loyalty, earning his time, earning his devotion, all that good stuff that women want and crave. Well, guess what? At this point, a high value male has eliminated our options, because he doesn't care. Because again, if you want to go into the manosphere again, he doesn't have that scarcity mindset, because if she doesn't qualify herself, guess what? Even if he went through all that deleting stuff that probably cost him 10 minutes of his fucking time, he's gonna have no problem building it up, because he's already high value. He's gonna get that attention all the freaking time. So it's not even a question of, oh, the time or this, or man, well, I don't want to delete all the photos and the. Now who cares? It doesn't matter. But what a high value man does is know that eventually, guess what? Hearts are gonna be broken. Guess what? I'm gonna be the villain in her story. I might be the hero in her story, but more often than not, you're gonna be the villain in her story, because oh my god, he was such a great guy, and then because he met another girl, he told me, and he was so straightforward, and he was so, oh my god, I can't believe we did that, but that was so manly of him. And that's that's the train thought that you're gonna have this girl on. Yeah, you're gonna be the villain, but you're gonna be the villain that eventually just goes in and becomes that hero. Trust me, later on, if that other girl that you chose and was lucky enough to get put through that fucking gauntlet for if she doesn't qualify, trust me, you'll become the hero later on. But you have to do it ethically. You can't do it scummy. You can't lead these girls on. You can't keep your app open, past the time when you've already know that you already committed to this girl and told her seriously. Again, you can't keep that app open. You can't keep on talking. You can't keep entertaining other females when that's what gives us the bad name. That's what then that action then causes a reaction of women, that they do what they do, and then that what they do is too much, then we have to then react to what. So it becomes this ridiculous cycle, which we're now on, where it's freaking ridiculous. So you just want to be straightforward, honest. Don't lead them on. Don't do it in a scummy way. Make sure that everyone knows what's going on, and when you find someone, cut it off. Like I said, it's not going to it's not going to end the way you want to, and you have to be ready for every reaction. When you're ready to break those hearts, when you're ready to say, hey, I met someone that I'm really interested, because no one wants to hear. Imagine a girl that you really like came up to you and said, I know everything's been good. I know everything's been good, but there's this guy and he's just a little better than you, and I'm going to see where it goes with him. Nobody wants to hear that, but yet that's the discussion that wants to hear, because you have to have it, because it's a clear cut, and then that person can then have opportunity and mental space to allow people to come in. And trust me, you don't have to be in a good fucking space to be able to let someone in, but the space have to be there. That mind frame, when well, he met someone else, I have to buy out, and then a guy comes into her life or whatever, she'll find it. You don't have to worry about it, but you have to give her that respect. You can't be so fucking egotistical and self-centered and say, oh, I'm gonna have my cake and eat it too. I'm gonna have this girl that's committed and be my girl, and then I'm gonna still talk to this girl, still saying I'm single. Shit, I have my own spot, I have my own things. I could do whatever I want. I'm only gonna see this one girl, relationship girl, only maybe 2-3 days a week. Man, I could fit another one for a couple dates, and maybe one more for just a quick hookup. That's where we get caught up. That's where men just F up. I mean, I say F up like I haven't cussed through this whole thing. Like, we just fuck up because we just start getting too greedy. We don't know when to freaking stop. So Just stop. If you want to be a high value male, act like a high value male. And respect. Someone else's time, respect someone else's dignity, respect someone else's fucking, heart space. That's what a high value alpha male does, whatever the frick the manosphere wants to call it. That's what a gentleman does. You don't mess around with people's feelings. You don't waste people's times. We want to complain about women wasting their time when shit. We're pretty good at fucking time wasting too. So it has to be both ways, but you only could do that when you're coming from a baseline of honesty, straightforwardness, and saying, hey, this is what I want, know what you seek, and then when you find something, you say, this is the correct thing to do. And sometimes the correct thing to do is sometimes the most hardest thing to do. And to break someone's heart, to get a text saying you broke my heart, I saw a future with us, I can't believe you did this, I can't believe you chose someone after us. And this isn't without leading someone on. This is, again, you can't help what someone else develops for you, and the ideas that they come up with, the fantasies that they grow. You can't be responsible for that as a man. But what you can be responsible as a man is making sure you're in control over your environment. And like I said, this is being ethical. This is being non-scummy. And you just got to be ready for that reaction when you break those hearts, because again, just think of it as put yourself in that position. You wouldn't want to, if you were digging a girl and you were in that position, it would break you. And that's what a lot of men get broken, because they are in that position. But just the same way that we don't like it, we have to be cognizant of that, and just be ready for whatever reaction. And if the reaction is negative, I didn't get into it as much because I kind of figured out how to finagle it and not get it. But if you do get a negative reaction, handle it with care. What I mean, not handle it like pussyfooting. Be loving, be understanding, take the fall, take the blame, take it all, because it's not your fault, that she's feeling hurt, that she's feeling pain, but it's your job as the high value male, as the alpha male, as this person that was dating. Yeah, you're not responsible for her. And you'll get a lot of guys saying, fuck that bitch, or it's not the man responsible, maybe even from some high value male. I think differently. I think that, hey, you were so awesome that you courted her and that she was falling in love for you, and now she's devastated. So the least you can do as you're progressing into your life is take the ownership. Take it. Yeah, you know what? Oh my God, yep, I understand. I should have seen it. I should have seen it different. You just accept the whatever she's gonna throw for you. If you know, yo, you're an asshole, or you're such a jerk. I can't believe it. She might even start making up stuff like, I thought we were official and stuff. Again, you can't control that. You only can control it through you and whatever creator you believe, if you believe in one. But that's basically where it comes to. And as long as you're doing, you can't help it. But what I'm saying is that if it's a negative reaction, take whatever it is. Obviously, if you're in person and she's cussing at you, calling you names, obviously that's not what I'm talking about. But if she's crying and sobbing and placing blame on you, and it's that kind of just a weeping, or maybe even some anger, but it doesn't cross to no disrespectful shit. A true alpha male, a true compassionate, they're empathic too. They protect. So you're gonna want to protect her feelings. Why? Because you're gonna pass her on, right? You're passing her. You're putting her back out there, or as some of you guys say, putting her out to the streets again. Even though that term is so fucking crazy, but you're just telling her, hey, this is I'm moving past it. And once you absorb that that pain, when she moves on, she's gonna move on in a clearer mind. And then what I said earlier, that she'll think about you in a villain for a moment, but because you were open and honest, and no one could lie to themselves. They could lie to us when we're but truly, I think people understand deep down inside that who they are. And whether they like it, and then they believe it or not, or they whatever they do. But I think when people are alone, they understand that pretty clear. But when you'll cross over from villain to hero if shit doesn't break up, because she'll just respect you different because you were honest, and she'll then say, you know what, he did tell me we weren't, exclusive. Every time I brought it up, he was like, hey, I told you I'm not looking to get serious. And if you're feeling something and if this crossing something, maybe we could stop it. Oh, no, I'm okay. I really did. And if you didn't accept and you were making excuses, that's a her problem. But if you're being honest, direct, and stuff like that as a man, again, I just think ethically, just absorb it. The negative texts and stuff like that. It is what it is. Of course, again, you're breaking hearts, and that's sometimes what's gonna happen as a man, and you just accept it, and it doesn't give us the bad reputation, and it doesn't give women the bad taste of men in their mouth. That then they're so afraid to commit to maybe a dope ass dude that comes after, or maybe two guys down, because if men owned up and did the proper things and not mislead, because oh, she cheats, well, according to the numbers we cheat too. Oh, she keeps her app too long, so according to the stats, so do men, and sometimes more. So you can't have it both ways and be like, oh yeah, and I get it, it's fun, it's so fun to hear the stories and the bashing and da 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 da, get that anger out. But come on, you guys want to call, everyone wants to call high value this, I'm a high value male, I'm this, I'm that. No, you're not. You just want to claim that, and you're an illusion of, because you're at your self betterment, but you're doing it in a douchey, scummy way. So, and then you're doing douchey, scummy thing to women that don't deserve to be douchey and scummy. Even though, again, I'm not. This is not like a protect females or anything like that, because God knows. Again, if the numbers are the same for men, God knows it's the same for women, and again, God knows what they're doing. And I think all of us now are not that naive to not believe what is being out there. So, in ending, if it's a negative response, when you're being honest and upfront, take the negativity. And again, the app stuff, all that stuff could get brought up. It doesn't mean that, and you might miss out on some of these girls. They might not look at you the correct way. They might never forgive you for that, and that's okay, because again, a high value male has an abundance mentality, as it's known in the manosphere. So there is no fear. There is no nothing, because he knows, okay, who cares about it? Maybe they don't have no more interest. He's not going to go out and look for them. He's going to reactivate social, or put it out there in his social media, and then maybe pick up some app if he's into that. Start visiting certain watering holes or certain spots that he, with his other high value buddies or whatever, where he likes to unwind, and he's going to go there. And if he met those girls in these areas, guess what? Odds are is that these girls will still be in that area. And guess what happens when you create a new profile with these girls? They're going to be like, oh, he's single again? Oh, he's single again? And all of a sudden, oh, hey, are you single again? Bam, you're in the money. So I hope you guys found this information useful. Share the video, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for listening. Until next time.